destiny. If there are problems among us, we have to come to the table and discuss them.
We must be able to see how people suffer, because that 30 days that you are fasting bring out in you to see those that don't have food to eat.
Others believe that it is a period to share in the burden of others and be the answer to their prayers.
It's a big opportunity for people to repent from the wrongdoings they have engaged themselves in the past.
We have to make more effort in showing togetherness and unity. And I think a lot of the Muslims would take that away from this.
Some faithful also used the opportunity to pray for the quick recovery of President Muhammadu Buhari.
We are thanking Allah that what is struggling the nation in Allah and answer to it.
The Christian faithful also share in the mood of the moment in the belief that religion is a uniting factor and all about love and tolerance.
What Nigeria should learn is about unity, one faith, one God, one country, one people.
We are all Nigerians, both Christian and Muslims, so we have to live together.
The call on Nigerians to rededicate themselves to God and serve humanity in any position they find themselves. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And to talk more on what is expected of Muslims after the month of Ramadan, I am being joined by Ustaz Maisuna Yahaya, the founder of Al-Mustafiya Society of Nigeria. Ustaz Yahaya, you're welcome to our studio.
You're going to pay me for spelling that name. Al-Mustafiya Society of Nigeria. Thank you very much. Good morning, and I welcome you.
Thank you. Yeah, let's go ahead now. Now, Ustaz, what's next after the month of Ramadan?
The game has just started. After the month of Ramadan, we have to have a continuity of what we have had in Ramadan. Precisely, we are now in the month of Shawwal. And in the month of Shawwal, the Prophet Muhammad has recommended that at least every Muslim who has fasted in Ramadan should try another 6. So, therefore, the lessons of Ramadan should be transcendent into the subsequent month to come after Ramadan.
All right, just like you rightly mentioned now that we are in the month of Shawwal, how important is this month too, and the recommended acts of worship?
Well, there are so many virtues of this month, as it has been recommended by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of them said in a book called Duratun Nasihin that Inna Allah khalaqa as-samawati wal ard fi sittati ayyamin. That means Allah has created, Almighty God has created the 7 heavens and earth in 6 days. Some says in 6 months, some says in 6 minutes, in 6 seconds. What is most important here is 6. And the creation of the heavens and earth took place in the month of Shawwal. So it is very important, it is very significant for every Muslim to practice the fasting of Shawwal at least 6. That's number 1. Number 2, the Quran also says, Man ja'a bil hasanati falahu athru amthaliha. He whoever has done an atom good weight of a good thing, the reward awaiting that person is at least 10. So now if you look at the way that's being equated, 1 Shawwal times 6, that means 1 is multiplied by 10. Then you multiply 10 by 6 will give you 60. So definitely you have fasted not for 6 days, but for 60 days. So look at the value you have for Shawwal. That means it is under normal circumstances, somebody may not be able to fast for 60 days consecutively. But by the time you fast 6 in Shawwal, it means you have fasted for 60 days.
All right, sir. Taking a look at, still on the month of Ramadan, how can we inculcate lessons from this holy month and into our routine activities for a better nation?
Yes. Ramadan is a lesson to all of us, particularly those who have those who have submissively fasted Ramadan. A lot of lessons. Number 1, you have peace. If you look at Ramadan, at least most of these atrocities have reduced drastically. Not in totality, but drastically they have reduced. If you look at other social vices like smoking of cigarettes, smoking of India hemp, taking of alcohol, going about women and the rest of them, they have drastically reduced in the just completed month of Ramadan. Therefore, let us have that. Number 2, every fasting Muslim during Ramadan has fasted with what is called jihad nafs. That means the jihad of soul. You have gone away totally from all bad things. So why not continue with this? Number 3, Ramadan unites all Muslims all over the world and as well as non-Muslims. A typical example was just had been captured in the news. See Muslims in Villa, see Muslims at other places coming together to eat. And like somebody has just said, I will paraphrase the person. We have one nation, which is Nigeria, one history, one language, one everything. So if anybody is trying to bring anything, that means if that person is a Muslim or is a group of Muslims, they have not imbibed the lessons of Ramadan. Also perseverance, endurance, patience. All these are what we have learned in Ramadan. You are hungry, you are thirsty, you are tired, you are weak, yet you did not go to vitiate or to spoil your Ramadan by going to eat or to do otherwise. Rather, you are patient from dawn till sunset. So why not remain patient? No matter what somebody has said, no matter what somebody has done, why not be patient over it, and which will now be a kind of lesson learned in Ramadan. Not only that, we have unity of all other people around us. I am very sure, even as I'm speaking now, there are some non-Muslims who have visited or who are visiting the Muslims, felicitating together, eating together, drinking together, discussing. So why not do that? And also finally, Ramadan has taught us to be patient in terms of financial misconduct. How I wish people stop stealing, whether public money or individuals. Because in Ramadan, people say, no, I don't want to steal, so that it not vitiate my Ramadan. Since you have stopped stealing in Ramadan, stop stealing in the other month of Ramadan. No.
All right, final words, Ustaz, and advice to Nigerians on good conduct and being patriotic.
As a Nigerian, as a Muslim, and as Muslims all together, well, let us try as much as we can not to misrepresent Islam, not to do what Islam has not allowed us, and we should not wrap any wrong thing we have done under the umbrella of Islam. Anybody who has gone wrong, or who has done wrong, or who has engaged in any wrong act has done it based on his own whims and caprices, but not as part of the teachings of Islam. As non-Muslims too, let us stop castigating people for what they have not done. Then don't assume that every single person you have seen is bad or which you have met. If you have met just one group of a person, you have not met all others. Let us try to embrace one another so that we can move our country, Nigeria, forward.
Thank you very much. And I've been talking to Ustaz Maisuna Yahya, the founder of Al-Mustafiya Society of Nigeria. Many thanks for...
Excellent to you now. Excellent to you. I score you 80 now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. You're welcome.
Yeah, moving on now, you can watch these news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Now, more reports on Salah celebration from some parts of the country after this time out. Stay with us.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Many thanks for being there, and if you just join us, this is NTA News Panorama, reaching you from the network service of the NTA. And still on Eid celebrations, in Zaria, Eid prayer was performed peacefully with a call on Muslim faithful to extend the lessons of Ramadan to daily dealings for peace and unity of the country. Mudassir Aliu has details.
The Eid prayer, which was attended by people from different walks of life, including women and children, was led by the Chief Imam of Zazzau, Al-Hatu Kashim, who called on Muslims to always promote peace and unity. The Imam of Zazzau, Al-Hadi Shehu Idris, in his message to his people, enjoined them to build on the existing peace in Zaria and to always be their brothers' keepers. The Imam, accompanied by title holders and the other dignitaries, rode back to his palace in a colorful display of culture. Some of the worshippers described the sermon as an act considering the place of peace and unity in the society.
Each other. We have to work together and live together, love each other, so that our nation will grow better with peaceful coexistence.
To thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for sparing our lives to see this day. And I urge all the Muslim to be peaceful and law-abiding in line with the Islamic injunction.
In Zaria, Mudassir Aliu, NTA News.
Itsu Nupe and Chairman, Niger State Council of Traditional Rulers, Alhaji Yahya Abubakar, has appealed to Muslims to imbibe the spirit of love and sacrifice experienced during the month of Ramadan. The royal father made the plea while addressing Muslims shortly after the two-unit prayer at Bida Eid Praying Ground. Muhammad Doma reports.
In their hundreds turned out to observe the Eid al-Fitr prayer led by the Chief Imam of Bida, Sheikh Adamu Yakatu. The Chief Imam, in his sermon after the prayer, called on Muslims to have the fear of Allah in whatever they do. Sheikh Yakatu urged Muslims to promote peaceful coexistence through love for one another in their places of abode. Addressing the congregation, the SNP, Alhaji Yahya Abubakar called for patience and sacrifice by Nigerians. Alhaji Yahya Abubakar called on government at all levels to continue to provide an enabling environment for the youths. He stressed the need for security consciousness by Nigerians as well as pray for the quick recovery of President Muhammadu Buhari. The SNP advised parents to ensure the proper upbringing of their children for them to contribute meaningfully to the growth and development of the society. In Bidda, Mohammed Doma, NTA News.
A peaceful coexistence among Nigerians regardless of tribal, political and religious differences form the focus of the Eid al-Fitr message delivered by the Chief Imam of Mina Central Mosque, Malam Ibrahim Isa. The prayer ground in Mina, Danda Mohammed, reports that Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello called on Nigerians to pray for quick recovery of President Muhammadu Buhari.
In fair weather in Mina, the Niger State capital contributed to the early arrival of Muslim faithful, gaily dressed in their different attires to the Eid prayer ground. Security operatives were out in their numbers to ensure a hitch-free exercise. Chief Imam of Mina, Malam Ibrahim Isa Fari, led the faithful in the two-unit prayer with the present and past governors of the state, including other dignitaries in attendance. In his sermon, Malam Ibrahim Isafari, while reminding those in attendance to consider themselves fortunate to have witnessed another Salah, enjoined the faithful to imbibe the spirit of forgiveness, fairness and peaceful coexistence to reign with them throughout the rest of the year. Malam Isafari said it is only in an atmosphere of peace that development can occur and people can reach their full potentials. The Imam urged Muslims not to abandon the lessons of the Ramadan.
I pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide and protect this country. I plead with our citizens to be law-abiding. We should continue to pray for this country, and we should also pray for our president, President Muhammadu Buhari.
Other Islamic scholars urge the Muslim faithful to imbibe the lessons of love, self-denial, and mutual respect for one another that was practiced throughout the month of Ramadan till the years ahead. From the Eid prayer ground, Mina, Dawda Mohammed, NTA News.
A Muslim faithful have been encouraged to allow the virtues of the just concluded holy month of Ramadan be their guiding principles in their relations with one another and other non-Muslims after the Ramadan period. These and the need for well-meaning Nigerians to always assist the less privileged was the thrust of the sermon delivered at Ijebu-Igbo Eid prayer ground in Ogun State. Yemi Dalemo reports.
The Muslim faithful converge on Atikuri Ijebu-Igbo to observe the 2 rakat prayers led by the Chief Imam of Ijebu-Igbo, Alhaji Ali Bauku. Admonishing the congregation, the Chief Imam urged Muslim faithful to allow the virtues of Ramadan reflect on their daily living with one another and the non-Muslims alike in the country. He charged them to continue to make the necessary sacrifices needed for the society and the country to move forward. In the spirit of Salah celebration, the less privileged across Ogun State converge on Egbe, residents of the senator representing Ogun East at the National Assembly, Bruji Kashamu, to benefit from his philanthropic gestures. The people, in their numbers, were given items that put smiles on their faces. They include pregnant women, physically challenged, and others who says their benefactor made them feel the essence of the celebration while putting the lessons of the Ramadan into practice.
The senator is very happy about the day. He's appealing to people for peace, law-abiding, and follow due process.
The messages to committed Muslims and the lessons from this Ramadan are many.
After the Eid al-Fitr prayer, which signaled the end of the fulfillment of one of the pillars of Islam, it is expected that Muslim faithful remain steadfast in their faith, almsgiving, and observance of the law of Almighty Allah throughout the year. Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
And away from the Eid celebrations, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Onyama, has expressed Nigeria's desire to further strengthen and expand cooperation with Tunisia in economic fields, development, trade exchanges, and benefits from the investment opportunities available in the two countries.
The minister was speaking while exchanging views with Tunisian President Mr. Beji Caid Essebsi at the Carthage Palace. He conveyed the best wishes of President Buhari and acting President Yemi Osinbajo for the successful democratic transition in Tunisia and efforts made by the president to achieve greater stability in the country despite the challenges posed nationally and regionally. He stressed the need to raise cooperation between all African countries, considering that trade exchange among African countries is still weak.
We face similar economic challenges, and therefore we have identified areas where we feel that the two countries can really achieve real concrete deliverables. Education, health, in the area of infrastructure development, ICT, information and communications technologies, renewable energies. We even talked about the...
And now to some sports. Nigerian Women Premier League adjusts fixtures ahead of second round as African champions exit FIFA